Would I be the butthole if I moved away from my disabled fiance? Hi, I'm Jason, and welcome to the only YouTube channel that gives advice, not to the original poster, but to those watching my video. Now, this is a very, very difficult situation that hopefully most of us will never find ourselves in, but there are still lessons to learn, so let's learn from others. I, 25 female, have been with my boyfriend since we were 19. When we were 23, he was injured in a skiing accident. His injuries were so severe that he was paralyzed from the neck down and has been semi-comatose. Other than that, he can do very little. He's no longer there. His body is essentially functioning on autopilot. There are more medical issues, but I do not want to divulge his private information any more than I have. We were planning on getting married. I still love him very much. Since his accident, he has lived at the hospital and then his parents. We lived together, but our 5th floor apartment was not suitable for his needs, and I worked too much to care for him. His parents live 90 minutes out of our city. I visit about 4 to 5 times a week, sometimes more if I can. It's been a point of contention between his mother and myself that I do not visit every day. I literally cannot do this with the hours I work, and I'm scared I will get in a road traffic accident driving in the dark. We live in a very snowy, icy state. His family basically lives on a mountain and runs a skiing resort, so the roads are terrifying. I work in a small and intensely competitive field. The salary I am on right now is fine for the city I live in. It's a major US city. But I could be earning almost double if I relocate. I've been offered an amazing job across the country, and I really want to take it. When I told his mother about how I was considering this job, she lost it. She told me I was an awful person to consider moving away from him. She said I was betraying him by abandoning him and moving on. I told her that I couldn't just stop living because of what happened. She started screaming at me. I'm empathetic because I understand that she feels as though the world is moving on without him. I feel that way too. I'm very conflicted. I am unsure if it is wrong to do this. Me and my boyfriend had promised we would marry each other. I do feel like I am abandoning him. Would I be the butthole for taking the job? Well, first, there's a couple of things to consider when talking about finding yourself in a situation like that. One, their age. Now, you're both 25 years old, so that is really, really young. And I think that makes a difference. Two, they were engaged, or at the very least, they were seriously considering getting married in the near future. So, giving that sort of setup to the situation, I think those are the facts that we have to examine and use when we come up with a solution. Now, I will just say right off the bat and not leave people in suspense, I don't think she's a beehole for this. This is a very difficult situation. But being that it was before they got married, he is in a comatose state, which means basically a vegetable in layman terms, in layman's parlance. There's not a lot of mental activity going on, and he really can't do anything. So he needs a full-time carer, a full-time nurse, or someone to assist him at home on a 24-hour basis, which is why he's at his parents' house. So even if you wanted to, this is not something you at a 25-year-old this is not something a 25-year-old person with limited income who's just starting their career really is qualified to do. They're not a medical person. They are not financially secure enough to hire someone to be there. So right then and there, you already have a limited amount of things you can do to really help this situation. Now, as sad and depressing as it is, I really do think that at some point you have to mourn the loss of your relationship. And with care and understand where his parents are coming from, because that's their child. And of course, they might have a different point of view than you. So you have to be strong enough to make the decision that is right for you in this case. If you were married, I might have a different set of advice for you because you've made a commitment. And the very basis of that commitment is that if something goes wrong, you will be there for each other regardless of what it is. But prior to that commitment happening, I do believe that there is some wiggle room if your conscience allows for it. So let's see what she did. I just would like to update anyone who left a kind comment and might stumble upon the update. The posts and the comments and chats I received have pushed me to accept the job. I moved cities January 9th. I start my job January 16th. This is all happening very quickly, but I have to realize that I do need to put myself first, and I'm not an a-hole for living my life despite it being incredibly painful. My boyfriend's mother does not agree. She is no longer speaking to me. I'm not allowed to see my boyfriend, who I guess is no longer my boyfriend, and hasn't been for 2 years. I knew this would happen, so I said goodbye to him before I told her. I do not want to repeat what she said to me. However, it was awful. She says I ruined Christmas because I made the decision on the 23rd, but she knew this was possible and it was a time-sensitive offer. As one commenter said, it was never going to be a good time to do this. On the plus side, her hating me has made it so that I have to leave for this job. I have no more ties here. I may be the butthole in her eyes, but this is what I need. I am having fleeting moments of regret, but my family and therapist have said that in the 5 days since making this decision, I seem lighter. I'm excited for this new chapter. Thank you again for the kind. Well, that seems like not often do we have a semi-decent happy ending. And I have to say, this is probably the best outcome that she could have hoped for. This is not something that, you can really plan for or prep for. This is actually taking life as it happens. And also remembering the people around you and what they might be feeling, but still trying to do the best in the situation you have. And really, that's all we can do. So, like I said, hopefully none of us ever find ourselves in a situation like this. But if we do, remember the lessons and the things we've learned from others.
Love my man, he was my rock and my truth, but now he's gone, lost in his